What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Loveshack, and today we do a deck profile video for you. We're going to jump into a Spyral deck profile, and I really don't want to make this take too much time, but I do think this deck is going to be one of the best decks in the format, at least until Master Rule 5 gets implemented, and perhaps then other decks will have a chance to be a bit more competitive. But I wanted to put something together just to kind of show you guys. It's definitely not a cheap deck, unfortunately, just because of the price of Magician's Souls, but we'll jump right into it. You guys let me know in the comments below if you like the build, what you would play differently, maybe what your own build entails, and yeah, and we'll jump right into it. So, triple Magician Souls. This is pretty much, you know, the key component of the deck. Move that just a little because of the glare. The key component of the deck, Magician Souls, you send Master Plan from deck to grave, special it from your hand, and then you can discard up to 2 spells or traps from your hand or field, and then draw 2 cards. So it's just an insanely good card that makes Spyral specifically benefits from it, but it does make a lot of decks better. 1 Nessie, 2 Tsuchinoko, and 2 Jackalope. That's the danger package. It's not too much to say about it, really. I think ultimately the dangers are just really good in a deck like this specifically because they kind of let you just shuffle through the deck and get access to your combo pieces faster. I wish we could play multiple Nessie, but unfortunately you can't. So, triple Gamma and 1 Driver. This is just a standard fare here. Gamma's a really good hand trap in general, and this is just 3-to-1 ratio is the best way to go. I did consider playing 2 Gamma, and just because it can brick later in the game, but the importance of seeing it early, especially if you're not going first, is really, really helpful. So that's definitely a must play in my opinion. 1 Bulb, it's just a combo piece and an extender. It's a level 1, so it has, you know, a lot of uses in the deck. 2 Master Plan, that's what you're sending off of Souls. You've got Drone, regular, Tough, Quick Fix. These are all just sort of staple. If you've played Spyral, you know you need to play what you can play. 1 Super Agent, because I don't think you really need to play it at more than 1. I think ultimately, like, Super Agent is one of those cards that, like, is really good and you want to see it, but it's so searchable by stuff in the deck that it does obviously clog if you have it at multiples. So I think 1 is pretty solid there. And then, of course, we've got Sleeper and Last Resort. You just play one of each of these. Your end board ultimately would be something along the lines of Trigate, Appaloosa, and Sleeper with that invincibility. So it's a pretty tough board to break for sure. And then just for some one-ofs, the usual culprits in dark decks, anything that plays dark monsters, and then Zephyros obviously just combos insanely well with Resort as well as other things. So Zephyros is just one of those cards that you have to play. DD Crow is good. It's searchable off of one of the extra deck monsters we play, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then Destrudo, just, you know, any deck, again, that plays field spells and wants to be able to synchro summon, Destrudo is a must play, in my opinion. On to the spells. I just apologize, the lighting's not perfect here. I thought I had it good, and now I'm realizing it's not working. I'm going to do a time crunch filming this, so... Alright, triple Called by the Grave, just because your combos are so important, and if your opponent stops them, you're kind of screwed, so you don't want to get ashed. Although, you can play through some, don't get me wrong, it's just if they hit the right piece, it can be tough. Triple Foolish Burial Goods, which for this deck is really just a Rhoda, because, you know, you can get access to pretty much anything you need, and if you want to send something with Spyral Mission Rescue, and then you revive. So it's sort of a multifaceted tool there. 3 Where Art Thou? This is, again, you know, if you control a level 1 monster, add a level 1 monster to your hand. If you don't normal summon it during this turn, you take 2,000 damage. This basically ensures you get access to Magician Souls, but if you do get Magician Souls, you can also get access to your other pieces like Quick Fix and Drones, as, you know, DD Crow, whatever you need, really, I guess. Ultimately, it just sort of ensures that your combo goes off. A few one-ofs here. 1 for 1. Obviously, I wish we could play multiples of that. Terraforming, Rhoda, Foolish Burial, all standard. And then for the Spyral cards, we've got 1 of the Spyral Mission Assault. Just a good card, and it lets you extend combos by being able to banish it from grave. Spyral Resort is at 1. Big Red, really good. Almost want to play 2. I've been sort of back and forth on it. I do think it's really good, but I ultimately see why just 1 may be the best fit right now in testing. And then Triple Rescue. This is a monster reborn from grave, so you banish it and you target a Spyral monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Plus, it also does, you know, allow you to target a Spyral monster in your grave and add it to the hand, so it's really good. Arguably too good, but that's not my judgment call to make at this moment. So that's the main deck. Again, I apologize. I know the lighting's not perfect in this, but I'm sure it's visible enough. I'm trying to make sure I fix that for the next one here. For the extra deck, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, and Lambda, pretty much the rank 2s, or link 2s, whatever they are. Lambda's incredibly good now, especially because of the resurgence of Gamma. Being able to search it and also use it, even if you control monsters, is just really strong. For the other Link 2s, I've got Barricade Borg and IP Masquerena. So two, really solid options. Masquerena is just good because it allows you to ramp and to, protect your monsters. And Barricade Borg Blocker is good simply because it lets you discard a card. So it does not only allow you to get back your Spyral stuff engraved if you need to, like Resort, but it also can allow you to discard Zephyros or get other things engraved that you need there. A few rank 4s, Boral Sword, Nightmare Griffin, and Borreload, all pretty standard. And then obviously I think one of the best being Appaloosa. So this is like, a Light and Darkness Dragon on legs. Your boards are going to make this as well as Trigate Wizard, and you just, can negate, play around Nibiru. This is not hard to make. You can make this with 2 pretty easily. 1 Link Karibo, I missed that, apparently. And then for the other ones, we've got just sort of generals. Double Helix is, Spyral staple. Nightmare Unicorn and Trigate Wizard. Wizard with a negate is just a powerful board, and Unicorn is essential to certain parts of the combo, not to mention just being good spot removal. And then we've got 1 Abyss Dweller, still a really good rank 4 that does a lot, and 1, this is Lyricusic Recital Starling. So if this card succeeds summon, you can target a face-up monster on the field, it gains attack. Once per turn, you can detach material, add a level 1 Wing Beast from your deck to your hand. So there's ways to further your combo with this, and actually search out DD Crow. It's just one of those things that is not an inherently great card on its own, but is good for what it does in the deck. And lastly, for the side deck, this obviously subject to change depending on your locals and playstyle, but triple Nibiru, triple Droll and Lockbird. I think this card's really good, especially, unfortunately it says, but like in the mirror match and anything else where there's a lot of heavy searching. This is just sort of, essential. Triple Lightning Storm, another card that, is obviously really expensive right now, but it's good, and it does sort of help you to counter any back row heavy decks, which can be problematic for this. Triple Dark Ruler No More. I like this card a lot. Can't quite say enough good things about it. And then double Evenly Matched and 1 Red Reboot. So it's relatively standard. Obviously, everyone's side deck tastes are going to be a little bit different, but that's what we're working with right now. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. I know I went through that a little quick. I just am trying to make sure I get these things done, and I wanted to get this out there without wasting too much of your time talking. That said, I'd love to chat about it in the comments below, so let me know what you guys thought of the deck. Let me know what you think is something you might tweak, something you might do differently. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time at Loveshack. Bye-bye.